With physical performers, I think we're always like bam, 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 and push it, you know, and stretch it and do this and get better. And actually it's like we forget that we also have to give that amount of attention into how we develop this muscle and this understanding. And so that's why I think the structure of the course is so brilliant, because the morning you get a warm-up and you get the technique, which means you've satisfied that little voice in your head that's like, oh, I need to be doing my pull-ups, or I need to be working on that. And then the rest of the day it's time for you to practice giving yourself time to find who you are, or find your voice, or what it is you want to say. Yeah.
To come into a group of people who are all so ready to make things and are really charged to do that, and then have that really well facilitated. It's like such an honor to come into a space with people like that, and it's something that is really striking me every day that we come in, that everyone is just so ready to work. So one of the first exercises we did with Chantal on the first day was we were talking about our gremlins and, you know, things that you're kind of anxious about, and for me it's time. So I think in that same analogy that I felt like I'm being pulled in all these different directions, and it's just the realization that like I can come back to center and I can come back to me and then deal with everything, as opposed to being over here one minute then having to hop over there and have, you know, it's just always drawing it back into something.
It's been phenomenal. I wouldn't have been able to describe it, and I probably still couldn't to somebody who isn't here.
Yeah.
But it's pushing you to many uncomfortable places, and I think that's where the productive work starts happening. Yeah, and so there's exercises in blind trust, or trying something because there's nothing to lose, and seeing what happens. And thus far, every time I've been willing to sort of jump in or try a new idea that wasn't mine and I didn't think was going to work, something interesting came out of it. Whether it was the original intent or not, it led to something new, and I think that's kind of the core of the artistic creation process, is being able to just dive in, play, and see where you end up.
The piece that I'm making here is about about labeling ourselves and how others label us and how we just like cling to these labels and identities. So for the question, who am I? And we got asked it the other day in Chantal's class, and I'm like, well, it's a really difficult question, because at the moment I'm the ideas that I'm looking at are like that I'm not anybody, that I'm not Tess, and I'm not a woman.
My understanding of the self is having a deeper listening, not just to my environment around me or tapping into other people's energies, but a listening of what really is. Me and Moira keep doing this gesture, and I'm not sure what this gesture means, but to us it means a lot. It's like that thing that's at the back of your head that sometimes you lose, or different days it's louder or quieter depending on how much you can tap into it. We're forever connected to something, and it's just how much that day we want to let it in, or we need it, or we quieten it, or we let it be loud, or yeah.
Perfect. It's a great gesture.
Yeah, is it? Okay, that's good.
Because you sort of said there's this feeling, so you get that and you took it behind your head, so it's kind of like before your head happens.
Yeah.
After the lab and we've really delved deep, I feel like as soon as I get into the creative space, it's like, it's completely different than just like walking into a space and be like, oh, I'm going to make something today, because you're so deep already, so it feels like really authentic when you get on the apparatus.
Yeah, it's very freeing because I can finally stop the I need more tricks, I need harder tricks, I need to keep up with all of this, and just decide my technique is enough and I can work. There's so much to do within what I already have.
It's a dance intensive, but it's like a spiritual retreat where you can really just introspect and say, right, this is the mess that I have, you know, in my mind. How can I work through this to pull out something that then I can develop?
Working on the artist makes the art.